Catherine, I'd love to hear from you. What brought you into climate storytelling and what's your background? And then at what point did you realize that animation could be a tool for policy change?
Yeah, I think I had always been potentially interested in climate and just being aware of it, but not to a point where probably like many, like I didn't necessarily do anything about it or I didn't know that I could do something about it. Aside from the clean up the beach and recycle type of initiatives. So I think going into this project was actually the thing that led me into more depth in terms of climate advocacy. It was unexpected because when I went into it, I kind of had no idea what was going to happen. I knew that like in my city of Springfield that like we had that reputation of being the asthma capital. I knew that. I knew like in my head I'm like, okay, air bad. What do about this? Like I just didn't understand where this was happening. So the project when it first came through was actually really exciting because I was like, "Oh, we have, we work with a lot of nonprofits and we've worked with the Public Health Institute before, but this was our first opportunity to like inform policy at a local level that I didn't realize was possible with animation." It wasn't something that came to mind. We were mostly in the sort of commercial advertising space, so we understood marketing and we understood messaging, but at the local level, we hadn't had that chance yet to explore. So this project became a really big, like, deep dive for me into climate policy that can lead to a global movement. So I was really excited about that. But yeah, on the flip side, I had no idea going into this what to expect. I was very intimidated because I am not a climate expert by any means. Um, but that's where the teamwork began, I suppose.
So, Samantha, when did you realize that you needed a different kind of communication? I imagine your team has been pushing policies like this through approval layers and trying to influence and implement before. Can you tell us a little bit more what that looked like and what it meant to bring in animation?
Yeah. And to Catherine's storyline, Catherine's team worked with us on another project called 413 Cares. And 413 Cares was a resource database platform where we wanted to put in or promote that this is available to the broader community. So they worked with our senior director at the time to create this animation story about how to use the platform, and it was used across the city in local ads and promotion on the news and just endorsed. So it was another way to see an example of how animation can inform and help community residents get the information they need. So the intention, the concept of like thinking about like why would animation work? Why is there a need to think more creatively? It's because we have to move past the times, right? In the older days or the days of early public health, it was good to have in-person town halls or community meetings to rally people together to explain something and get their input and move from there. As we evolve with technology, with social media, with messaging, that people are now everywhere. They're not just in a community room waiting for us or us looking to gather them. They are literally on social media. They're getting their information through different modalities and different tools. So we could not just be general, say a flyer is going to change the world. I can't put a flyer or an infographic to explain why this was going to work. And we believe that even with animation or with a video medium, we can get to a broader audience. We could use that to put it up on YouTube, see the folks revisit it, use it in our presentation, but it's clear and concise. It really filters out what we are trying to say. We're a presentation where you have to go back and say, "Oh, I forgot to say that we really became clear and concise is what is the message for this animation that we want to get across, who is the audience, um, broader community, folks we want to influence, and then this has a bigger reach." So it's kind of like, again, my biggest reason was we have to be with the times, that you can't bring people together in just a physical space. You have to find them in other spaces, reach them, and animation and video media production is one way that we can reach people. And again, if it's clear enough, they would tack onto it and support.
Okay, so the influence was not just to the legislators and the government. You were trying to influence the general population because, from what I understand, this is not an opt-in program. It was going to be available to everybody. Was it that you were looking to make sure that people weren't going to push back, or can you say a little bit more?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was to explain something complex. So if I say, "Hey, your energy," and we had to find cute catchphrases that kind of gets it together. So we coined like with a flick of a switch. This is something that has not that you don't even have to do anything with. That it's behind the scenes. That everything happens with just you deciding or agreeing to do something. That your energy can come from somewhere else, and that the work is on our community organization or our city to do it. It's not on you, but your work is to sign our petition, to support our advocacy, to let our local legislators know that you care about it. So for them, the video affirms that it's for me, the resident, to know what it means, that I had to switch and the value of switching over, how it impacts myself, my family, and my broader community with signing and supporting. And then the latter part, we also use the video for our pitch to our city council folks. And the feedback from them was, oh, wow, I'm learning something. So it's very much an informative video. It's super informative because, again, we wanted to first understand how it's more of a process. The city council has to approve, mayor has to agree, put an RFP, all these steps to then get to the end goal. And we also want to visualize in the animation how the end goal was super important, that our community would be better, that you would be helping not just yourself, and that everyone would have access to something that is hard to reach if you don't have the financial means to get it.